Click on your page. Click on click up there.
We're in the show.
We're live.
Here we go.
We didn't have that music introduction.
No.
But anyhow,
thank you for doing this, Josh. And I'm just
thank you,
proud
man.
to talk to people who love liberty and love football and love just America. So thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming on. We got it figured out. Wow, we already got somebody on here. What's up, Big Kev? Go Tigers. I didn't tell anybody we were doing this today. We weren't really doing it from this platform.
No.
So we usually do a podcast on Tuesday night at 7:30, but Eric was on our podcast 2 weeks ago. And we had a real good turnout, and we had a little technical problem, so we decided to do it on StreamYard. So we were talking a little bit, I think it was Friday, about, I'm impressed with what you're doing. And it's kind of similar to what I'm doing, because my heart and passion, even though it's a sports network I own, my heart and passion is with small business America, and because it's 80% of America, and then 20% of America is big corporations. And, you got a great idea about, making businesses local again. And I've been on your website, and you've got quite a few customers on there, man. Clients, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
well, Josh, let me ask you a question I think a lot of people would love to hear you answer, which is, why do you believe in liberty, and what does it mean to you to make America local again, in your terms?
Well, one time every business was local, right? I mean, even Walmart was at one time became a big business. 80% of America is small business and local businesses that should be doing business with each other. But you got 20% the large corporations, they've got 80% of the money. So I think us, the small guys, need to help each other out and stay together. And, will you get your oil changed? The guy that gets his oil changed, the barber should go to the guy that gets his haircut, and kind of keep everybody in that circle, Mm-hmm. And so I'm just a big believer. I've been an entrepreneur all my life. And I mean, you founded this company, which seems to be a great concept. It's doing well. And I just believe giving back to the local community. And helping each other out. And the sports network, it's fun and dandy, but my passion is really small business America. I mean, I kind of like to call it Shark Tank the Upstate. Shark Tank's one of my favorite shows. I just enjoy business in general. I've always had a business mind. I've always started companies, and it's just fascinating to me. And I think, being AT&T, being Walmart, being Amazon, they've got an unfair playing advantage, and that get a ton of money. And if you're driving from Spartanburg, Greenville, like you're going toward Anderson, you'll get about halfway from Greenville to Anderson, you'll see Buc-ee's. You'll see Buc-ee's 167 miles, Buc-ee's 164, Buc-ee's 157. But nobody's going to see that sign and say, hey, let's go to Buc-ee's all of a sudden, and drive an extra. And you ask yourself, well, why does Buc-ee's have like 9 signs when they're about 3 hours away? And the reason that is they got millions of dollars, they got an advertising budget, there's tax write-off, they're trying to keep the brand out. Well, you know what? The little guy can't do that. And so they do that. But yet you have these other people that put billboards up you won't see because it'll be like one of them, So, and and I also believe, Eric, a lot of stuff, everything's changed. We're in 2026. The way people market and do business has changed. Everything's gone digital, and I know it doesn't sound sexy, but if you're looking to buy a car, you don't go home on Tuesday afternoon at 2:30 and turn the TV on and hope a Toyota commercial comes on. You get it through multimedia, you get it through SEO, you get it through like what we're doing right now. Podcasts have gotten real popular. I mean, look at Joe Rogan. I mean, there are actually people that do podcasts full time, and YouTube pays them. And I mean, there are actually millionaires out there. This is what they do.
Yeah.
I haven't got there yet. Maybe one day, but
I tell people, you know what I miss, Josh? I miss the days when you go into like Blockbuster or Hollywood Video, and you would be like a family event to pick out your movie for that weekend. We've lost so much community for the sake of convenience. And I tell people,
when I started my insurance agency back in the 90s, I was young, and anyways, the lady came. I got an office over on Main Street here in Spartanburg. I thought I lost my mind. I started out with Aflac, and I'm going somewhere to this story. And I had more balls than I had brains, for lack of better words. And I just wanted to have them on, the front office became open. And I got licensed with some other companies. So I go up there and I had other bills to pay. I'm like 25 years old. I'm a young dude starting out. And so odds were against me. But I go in there and I take a chance. And the lady comes down. I sign a year agreement and I had my love seat brought in, file cabinet, desk, and everything. And I had a list of clients and some leads. And I'm like, I've lost my mind. And I said a little prayer. And I said, God help me. and about 5 minutes later, an angel appeared at the door. And guess who the angel was? It was the Yellow Page lady. So she comes in, and I had a tie over there and a coat. And I said, I want the biggest, and I'm going somewhere with this long, drawn-out conversation. So I put a tie and a coat on, and I said, I need a picture, and I want all the bells and whistles. She came back. I just signed my life away on a year lease, and she goes, that'd be $800 a month. And I said, well, I really don't have that today. And she said, don't worry, we'll bill you. So back then it would come on Bell South, your bill. So every 30 days you get your phone bill plus your advertising bill. So if you do the math, it's about $10,000 a year is what I'll spend on advertising Yellow Page. The best $10,000 I ever spent. So after a while, that $10,000 a year, I'm not kidding, was making $10,000 a month. Because back then, if you wanted insurance, you went to Yellow Pages. You want to buy a car, you went to Yellow Pages. You need a lawyer, you went to Yellow Pages. So, you're out of town, you're looking for a good wings restaurant, you go to Yellow Pages. So it was kind of quartered the market. Well, fast forward to 2000, 2001, guess what happened? Changed everything. The internet went mainstream. Remember the little dial-up man that used to run across? So internet, and that actually hurt my business because back then I would actually come to the office. I'd have people lined up. I'd press the recording and said, you got 32 messages. 30 of them be people wanting to buy insurance. So then the internet hit, and then now you're spreading the leads out with everybody, and you got a thing called NetQuote. And you go to the bathroom, you be out cutting your grass, and you get a lead on your phone, and if you didn't get it in time, it'd go to another person. But if you did get it, you call them back, and they wanted to search the market, do the research. So everything's kind of gone to media and SEO, and normally you think about something first, and then you Google it. If you're going up to, let's say you're going up to Nashville next weekend and you need a place to stay, you're gonna not turn the TV on or look at a newspaper. Nobody who gets a newspaper anymore.
I know.
It's all digital. Yeah. So you're gonna think about it, you're gonna Google it. So getting the word out there, multimedia, search engine, good internet presence, good return on your investment, getting a lot of hits, it means a lot. I mean, for a business.
Well, before we go into why you started I Bleed Orange, because I want to hear that story, here's a good way for your listeners to, since we're on your platform, and I'll put it on mine as well, but here's a good way to think about it. No matter how bad Clemson football could be, let's just say it was a really bad couple of years, there's no way you'd be buying Carolina stuff. There's just no way you would do that, right? So in the same way, we need to look at these big companies as our rival. Like they need to be Carolina to all the Clemson fans. And you need to support your team. Support your local business owners because that's your tribe. We almost have to go all in on that, Josh, because otherwise we're just going for what's cheap and what's globalist and not what's local. And it has to be a competitive balance has got to shift our way because it's been going the other way for so long. Yeah.
Well, a lot of these other networks, there's not really nobody does the kind of the way we do it. The way the other companies work, like, and I'm not gonna mention a name, but they've been out. They were the first Clemson. They're the biggest. We've been out doing them a lot lately in the numbers as far as views. But what they do is they don't really take on sponsors and promote local business. What they do is they put out a bunch of articles and stuff, and they want a subscription. So we all our stuff's free. You can get on there and read it. Where our money's made is we market for local businesses. So we spend a lot of our effort doing shows, including them in there, doing an article on them, doing a commercial, include them on our podcast. We do an ESPN game day show, just like Nick Saban and Pat McAfee do, except we come out to the business set up. It's just like game day. And we'll do it a couple hours for the game, and we talk football, what's going on, and then we get them on the camera, and then, we do picks at the end. And then we're doing like social media management for them. We got a lot of different ways we market for them, and it gets the word out. Instead, you don't have to get on our site, and we don't charge you anything. All our money comes from promoting small business, not from taking money from our fans to pay for our services. And that's how most of these networks work. So we decided to be a little bit different about it, and let us help you. We get paid a little bit; it pays our bills, and then let us promote for you. And I mean, 99% of our businesses are local businesses. I mean, in small business, just 100 employees or less in most cases. We got a couple big ones, but yeah, and we keep it local. And even toward near the Clemson area, we still got sponsors that they're near the stadium or the university that actually aren't Clemson fans, but they know if you go out to I-85 and you throw a rock, about 8 out of 10 of those cars are going to be a Clemson Paul in it, or somebody in that family tree is going to be a Clemson fan. So yeah, well, Rigsby's over there sponsors this, and they're big Carolina fans, but they got a restaurant 8 miles from the stadium. So, well, we also got the Ultimate Sports Network, so we cover any country. We're actually doing FIFA, World Soccer, World Cup. I'll tell them learn more about FIFA and the World Cup and in the last month than I have in 57 years. And the U.S. did have a victory Friday, so that way we can cover everything else, and plus give people double the advertisement. We can advertise for them on the Ultimate Sports Network and I Bleed Orange. But this show ain't about me; it's about you, because really it's supposed to be on your podcast, and we just
well, actually, you know what, Josh? In some ways, it wasn't. It was I'll be all about you, but it just happened to be on my platform. Well, okay, why did you? Because there's a lot of Clemson fans, but why did you start I Bleed Orange? What made you say I'm going to do this?
You wouldn't believe the story, but I'll tell it to you because I didn't plan on starting it. Okay. And every time somebody gets a flat tire, I just had somebody text me the other day, say, I got 2 flat tires. I said, all right, brother, you got a miracle coming. You're fixing to be blessed. So I've always been a big Clemson fan. And back when, and we didn't start out as a sports network. We started out as a product company, but I didn't plan on starting it. So we were playing Alabama, and South Carolina winning in the bowl game, and Deshaun Watson gone to the pros, and Alabama beat us pretty good. But we were in the playoffs. We were in the top 4 teams. They beat us. Somebody threw me into a trash talk group, Carolina, on Facebook, Carolina Clemson. And so I wake up the next day, and at the time I was married, and I'm looking at my phone, and I said, Betty, I said, man, I said, they're in this group. Alabama would have beat them worse. They didn't make a bowl game. She said, why don't you just get out of the group? I said, that's what I'm going to do. She said, why don't you start your own group? I said, that sounds like a good idea. And she goes, what are you going to call it? I said, I Bleed Orange. So it started out as a Facebook page. I went in there, I Bleed Orange was available. And then the Facebook page took off. Still not thinking about starting a business, but I've always been an entrepreneur. I've had that in my mind. I had people come to me while we had that group going, went on for like a year before it started the business. So about a year, it was in January the 14th. But anyways, people called me up, and I wasn't into the screen printing business, would call around. I just didn't have a logo, didn't have an idea, kind of put it on the back burner. Never been in the clothing business. So on January the 14th of 2017, I'm driving down 101 between Woodruff, South Carolina and Greer. And it's about 2:43 in the afternoon. It's about 40 degrees. It's drizzling down rain. And I can't remember if I'm looking at the radio or my phone, but I just looked down for a look. And I looked at this big old white cylinder block in the middle of the road. So I swerved to miss it, and I don't miss it. And so I hope I don't have a flat tire. And sure enough, I have a flat tire. And I'll tell you, probably, in my driving time, how many flat tires I've changed in my life. So I pull over the side of the road next to an abandoned house, and it's muddy. And I get out there, and I cannot get the tire off. I think it was God's plan, because there was a guy that summer that I bought a shirt from off the Facebook group. So I knew I had to have it right away. It just had to. There was Mike Williams was a receiver of ours that carried like 4 Gamecocks 10 yards on his back into the end zone. And he had a tire fall in front on the back, footprints in the sand when I didn't know how to get there. A guy was carrying me. So I had a picture of Mike Williams carrying 4 Gamecocks like 9 or 10 yards in the end zone. When I didn't know how to get in the end zone, Mike Williams carried me in the end zone. Thank you, Gamecock fans or Gamecocks. I bought one right away. So my wife at the time was an engineer at Michelin, and it's in the middle of the day. She get off like 6 o'clock, and I'm humble myself. I'm supposed to be a man's man. I'm supposed to be a change of freaking tire, God's sakes, and I can't. And I call her up. I said, I cannot get this lug off. I cannot get this tire off. She goes, that happens sometimes. She goes, I can't come get you. So I had to call a cab. I mean, not a cab, a wrecker, a tow truck. So I called the tow truck and said, it's going to be about 30 minutes. We're on another call. And I said, all right. So I'm sitting in my car, and I have this epiphany. I said, why don't I call the guy that I bought the shirt from this summer and see if he can make a shirt for I Bleed Orange, because people were asking about it. So he came back like 5 minutes later with that logo, the logo we have today. just looked at that one. I knew right away. I said, that's it. I said, I want this many small, large, medium, extra large. Started out gray, orange, and purple. And I put in a $2,800 order on my credit card. I'm not kidding you. I sold out by midnight. And so it just took off. And, didn't even have an LLC or anything. And it was selling so much. Also, go get an LLC, go open up a bank account, a business account. And we got in. We had like 40 products there for a while. We had I Bleed Orange barbecue sauce, I Bleed Orange hot sauce, caps. We had it all. Coffee mugs. We even did girls' leggings. We did Christmas ornaments. We had our own beer out. I Bleed Orange beers on Hotspot. All the Ingles around. So we had about 40 products. And what happened was about in 2020, I got invited to be on a show as a guest, just for I Bleed Orange. Sure. It's about a 30-mile drive. Went up there and did a show with somebody and Sports Network. And I'm driving home and I'm thinking, man, that was fun. I'd like to do that. So I just started spinning, brain started spinning. 6 months later, I had an IT person. We built another website, and we launched I Bleed Orange in January of 2021. And I think we sold, 130 or 40 sponsors the first year. And it just took off. We started doing live shows and started writing articles and hiring a staff, and it's grown from there.
What's been your best moment doing this? Did you have some players on for an interview? Like what would be the?
Well, we've had LeVon Kirkland on. He's in the NFL Hall of Fame. He played for Clemson. He played for Pittsburgh Steelers. We had Wayne Buckingham on. He's good friends with Michael. He's actually this summer, we're doing an orange and white golf tournament with him. He's actually good friends with Michael Jordan and Shaq. And he does host a golf tournament down in Myrtle Beach. He played for Clemson, played in the NBA. We've had Grayson Marshall. He was in the NBA. He was all-time leading assist, and still a record, I think, that hadn't been broken in the NCAA. A lot of people don't think about assists. They think about the person that scores. But, that's the guy that gives the ball away to the guy that scores. Still holds the record, I think, to this day. So we've had some NFL stars. We've had some NBA stars. We've had some interesting people like you, business people, in Major League Baseball. We haven't had Dabo on yet, but we did a podcast. We did a live podcast last week at Cameron's Cigar Lounge, and we're looking at Jacob's up there, and he goes, well, you realize that our podcast last week, the one we did with you, had more views than TigerNet had interviewing Dabo Swinney. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Hey, feel very honored.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you said baseball players, what baseball players have you had on?
Huh?
What baseball players have you had on?
Seth Beer. We really had one baseball player. We've had more NBA players than basketball players. Seth Beer, heck of a player. He played, I don't know if he's still playing, but he played for Houston for a while. He was a big home run power hitter.
If I get Sammy Sosa with me, I'll make sure he comes.
Good. We can get Sammy Sosa on. That'd be awesome.
I'll work on that. Well, okay.
That would be, I was telling Tam about that. That'd be awesome.
How did you run across big dream with the show, Josh? What do you want to come from all this?
Huh?
What do you want? What's the dream with all this? What's your vision?
My vision? Hold on a second.
What's the dream with all this? What's your vision?
My vision is to help as many small businesses as I can. Have fun. Hold on a second. Let me turn this off. Sorry about that. I had the phone on here too.
Oh no, yeah, it'll repeat.
No, my vision. I think you always need to be growing. You're not growing. You're not moving forward and growing, and you're basically dying. So you always got to be expanding, growing, and and that's why we came up with the Ultimate Sports Network, so we could cover. We've been covering Wimbledon, we've covered the Masters. Basically, bring a community together locally and give back to the community and help businesses return on their investment and market for them. Everything since the beginning of time. It's all come down to marketing. Because if you watch TV and you see Aflac the duck, what does the duck have to do with insurance?
But in your head, you'll never forget Aflac.
Yeah, and if you think about it, insurance is a necessary evil. You got to have it. As a matter of fact, you drive a car, you better have it. You need to have health insurance, life insurance. You're going to have homeowners insurance. You got to have it, but it's not the sexiest product in the world. But you have to have it. So they got to make it creative, but they're some of the best marketers there is. You look at the Allstate and the Mayhem Man, Geico used to have the caveman, and then you got Aflac with the duck. So it's all about marketing and getting your attention. And what does Mayhem have to do with the Mayhem man have to do with insurance, and the duck have to do with insurance and caveman? But it gets your attention. You notice a lot of good commercials is to get your attention to thinking about product. It's not somebody saying up, well, we got this.
No.
Something kind of exciting. And we try to be exciting, and we always start out with the Matthew McConaughey, all right, and try to get people.
That's great. I love that. Yes, you got to come in with the blast. That's right.
I'm gonna meet him one day, and I'm gonna see who can do it better.
Well, Josh, let me ask you an important question to me. This would mean a lot to me to hear you answer this. What is this guy back here, Charlie Kirk? What did he mean to you?
Oh, Charlie was a great guy. It's such a tragic thing that happened. Well, he was one of the best debaters I've ever seen. And he would do it in a way where you'd ask questions, tell the truth, answer, respond, and do it in a way that was, professional, I guess. I'm trying to think the word. But and people try to rattle his chain, and he would keep his cool. And he was probably the best debater I've ever seen.
Yeah. What I respect.
He died before his time. I mean,
put the mic down and listen to the person, and then everyone's interjecting all the time.
Yeah, he basically want to hear their side of the story, and then he would present them with facts, and in a decent way. And it's tragic, man. But Turning Point USA, since he's died, has even gotten bigger and expanded. I think when Erica took over, I donated money to him several times. I believe in what they're doing. It's great guy.
My
sad
favorite
he died at 33.
You remember the T-shirts? We are Charlie Kirk. I love that because that's he was a special dude, really was. So what else? We're a sports network, but we're really a marketing company. Yeah.
No,
I love that. I think it's great.
The marketing company pays. We're a multimedia marketing company that pays for us to, go to the games. It pays the mortgage, pays the bills, and that's where I'm excited. I've always been excited about small businesses. Somebody had to start something, and I know what it's like to be an entrepreneur. I know what it's like to, wake up 2 o'clock in the morning thinking about stuff. I know what it's like to be on vacation at the beach, and while everybody's enjoying, your head's rolling about certain things going on that you need to do with your business. Mm-hmm. And, and I enjoy what I do. So I met with the late guy over there at Kia of Greer today. And he goes, man, you must be, and it really dawned on me. He goes, man, you must be blessed. And lucky guy. And I said, I am. I enjoy what I do. I love sports, and I love small business America. And to be able to do that for a living is just, I thank God every day for it. I'm grateful.
You're a Cubs fan too, right?
And I'm a Cubs fan, and they lost yesterday. They were on a 3-game winning streak. They're on TV. I didn't do the MLB thing, but they were on TV yesterday, and they're on TV a couple of weeks ago. Seems like when I watch them on TV, they lose. But so they won 3 in a row. We're what, 7 games out? 6 games, 6.5, 7.
6.5, something like that. Yeah. Well,
it's not over with yet. We just need to get it together.
It's a long season. 162 games is a long haul.
It's a long season, yeah. If we can get to the All-Star stretch right up in there, I think we'll be all right.
Well, let me ask you a question about, so you decided to become allies with us. So Businesses for Liberty, I Bleed Orange, we're like a team now. What made you decide, Josh, to say, I want to link up with Eric on this?
Well, man, I went to your website and I'm like, this guy's doing similar to what I'm doing, except he doesn't do the sports, but you're going, and I like the fact that you go in person. My old selfie stick broke, but I bought another one this weekend. So we go out there and we do like a shout out commercial, a welcome commercial. All right, welcome to I Bleed Orange Sports Network. I'm with so-and-so at ABC Construction or whatever. And tell me a little bit about yourself, how you got started, a little bit about what you do. And then we stream that YouTube and all these other places. And then we market for them. And it's getting the local people involved, bringing in more revenue, bringing in more customers, getting excited about what you do. If you're excited about what you're doing, your product, you'll sell more. You'll create more business, And the way we market, like I was saying in the beginning, has changed,
Yeah, really.
And a lot of small businesses don't have the money to go on TV. And it's not only that, even if you did have the money to do a bunch of TV commercials, people don't pay attention to TV commercials.
No,
I don't.
no.
I can tell you what I watched on TV last night, but I can't tell you one commercial came on. I can take a guess, but I don't. Commercial comes on, I'll look at my phone, go to the kitchen, go to the bathroom, and then sometimes I'm on a pre-recorded. I just fast forward through the commercial. So what happens is, and what you're doing and what I'm doing is, they're looking. What's the latest business you sold or signed up?
Actually, it was a rental vacation home up in New Hampshire.
There you go.
Littleton Suites up there. They're also
okay. So somebody want to go to New Hampshire. What are they going to do? They're going to look up on the computer. They're not going to turn the radio on or the TV on and look for it. So they're going to think about it and they're going to search it. And it's about getting good presence on the internet.
Now, what would it look like to you, Josh, if people like that follow you, if they started living out Make America Local again? What do you think that would look like if people really did that?
And say that question again.
Yeah, if people were to truly live out Make America Local again, that follow this show, what would that look like to you?
If I was to follow the show, one more time.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to understand the question.
If people following this show decided we're going to live to Make America Local again, what would that look like, in your opinion?
Well, it would look like we would expand and get bigger and bring on more people, because the more you bring on, the more business you have. Right. If you think about it, you're more likely. Okay, if a guy comes in, let's say you own a barbershop, and the guy comes in and he's a technician at an automotive place, and he cuts your hair. You're more likely. You cut his hair. You're more likely to get your oil changed down at his shop, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or if a guy's in this group and we're marketing for him, and let's say the lady owns a florist and she's in our group, make it look a business local again, and she's in our group and somebody else is in our group and they need to send flowers to their wife or for get some flowers for a funeral, they're more likely to buy from people they know in that network. So it's bringing the network in and connecting people, because you're more likely to do business with people to do business with you.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, this is the polarizing side of me. So let's see your answer on this. So I am unapologetically pro-life, pro-liberty, pro-history, pro-Second Amendment, America First. Why do you support those 5 principles?
Well, they're all in the Constitution. The right to bear arms. I believe a baby. I don't believe in abortion. That's for sure. No. If you're not in a position to have a baby, then my uncle was a adoption lawyer for years, and you can find my ex-wife was adopted. So I don't, if you made a mistake and you didn't mean to have it, or they're options. I don't believe in abortion. And the right to bear arms, it goes back to the beginning of the time. When guns came out, you got to protect yourself, and mostly that's for protection. Yeah. It's not that guns don't kill people; people kill people.
People kill people. Yeah.
If somebody's crazy, there's nothing you can do to stop them. And if they can't get guns legally, they'll get them illegally.
How about the pro-history one, that we have to learn from our history, not just destroy every monument because you don't like it?
Yeah, exactly. So, I believe in everything you stand for.
Yeah. Well, to me, it's common sense.
It is common sense. The Conservative Party of common sense. It all makes sense. If you're going through the process of immigration, you came in legally and got everything done the right way, we're welcome to have you. But if you're illegal, the word illegal ought to tell you something.
I know.
Come here legally, and we'll be fine. But and then you see these people that that. I'm trying to think of the lady down, Lincoln Riley, was that her name?
Yeah, Lincoln Riley.
Students, they got murdered, and that guy was illegal. And there's been a bunch of cases like that, but yet they want to. I'll tell it like it is. I don't care.
Well, you saw my recent interview with she's from Venezuela and I'm from Ireland. We did a joint interview talking about how we love America, legal immigration is how we did it, and
exactly.
Illegal immigration hurts us the most.
Well, man, I've thought about it. It's just crazy. Why else would you want a bunch of illegal immigrants over here, except the fact that you need votes?
Yep.
And really, all they're concerned about, I'm going to go ahead and tell it like it is on this podcast, the way I see it anyways. The liberals, they're not concerned about policies. They're not concerned. Even the people in the higher places that are running for office that have places of influence than liberals, they care more about power than anything else. And they'll do anything they can to get it. They'll lie, steal, cheat, or whatever. And that's the whole thing with illegal immigrants. If you'd wake up back when Biden was president and you'd look at TV or whatever, and there's hundreds of people. We haven't seen that lately, have we? And I mean, they're bringing in fentanyl. They're, people getting raped, killed, murdered, and it's all coming from these illegal immigrants, man. It's like, why would you want them in there?
I know. Well, I tell people too, there's a difference between people who might believe liberal policies and the people who are instituting them. What I mean by that is, I love to have a conversation with people I disagree with, but the people who are profiting off of illegal immigration, I have no time for those people. So I'm able to have a conversation with someone who we can discuss these things. But there are people who, like you said, are staying in power as a result of knowingly pushing things they know are harming the country. And that is a major problem for me. Yeah,
it's all about power for them. I mean, Trump could cure cancer and they'd come up with something wrong with that. Right. I mean, he come up to cure cancer. Oh, cancer's, you don't like cancer or whatever, but whatever he does.
I know.
Well, all the liberals like Teslas before Elon came on Trump's Doge board and all, and then the next thing you know, they got riots at Tesla dealerships or protests, and they're burning Teslas up. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I met the president in 2015 on his plane.
Oh, you met him, really?
Yeah, he's super nice to me, and he's like, "What do you want to do, kid?" Because I was a senior at Charleston Southern University, go Bucks. And I remember, he said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "Oh, I want to be a political staffer, sir." And he said, No. Dream big. Think bigger than that. And
that's Trump.
I felt kind of sad. I was like, I thought that was a pretty big thing. And then later on, it stuck in my head, and I thought, I do want to do something bigger. And I started Businesses for Liberty.
Yeah, well, God put you on this earth, man. God put you on this earth to do something big, do something bigger than, he works through you to do. I mean, there's no telling what you could do, brother. I mean, a lot of people.
Look at you. I mean, you're not just another Clemson fan. You started I Bleed Orange.
Yeah. Everything, there's gold everywhere. A lot of people don't see it. It's all how you look at things. And, if you're going to be thinking anyways, we're thinking anyways, you might as well think big. It doesn't help to think small. You can either see an opportunity or a problem. I got a flat tire and I started this. I could have gotten all angry and upset that I had to get a tow truck and buy a new tire. I couldn't change it, but something good came out of that.
Yeah.
and people heard my flat tire story.
Yeah, for any of your viewers watching this now or later, I just want you to know that you have been given God-given giftings. And don't let anyone despise you for not being like other people. Like, there's only one of you. And if you could just put your purpose as your identity and not how you feel. Charlie Kirk talked about that.
Yeah.
Put your time into what's going to benefit others and make it fun. You go all in on that, you'll never work a day in your life.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You're right.
So
put other people first, go the extra yard. You're right about that.
Go the extra yard. You're exactly right.
Yeah. Get the end. It's called The Law of Karmic. There's a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And there's a thing called the law of cosmic habit force. And it means, that's when I go out and I go 0 for 3 one day or 0 for, I always know, you keep going, you planted a seed. I'll tell you, funny, I had this streak going when I had the insurance business. We had leads back then where they'd mail them in and we'd get them, we'd order them, and you'd actually go out in the house and sit down with them. And I was going on like 4 years, never had a blank week. And I went out to Packlet, South Carolina. I was getting beat up. I was like 0 for 20. And I'm riding back, man. I'm like, something's wrong with me. I didn't know a booger hanging on my nose. I didn't know what was going on. So I go back to the office and I sit down. It's Friday and I go, God, what a week. Phone rings. They say, you sell life insurance? I said, yeah. Said, you sell? I need $1 million policy. I hadn't sold $1 million policy up then. And I said, yeah. And he says, where are you? So I'll be down there in about 30 minutes. So what I'm getting at, it's like the harder you work, the luckier you get. And I'm thinking if I just kept going. And at the end of the day, something I didn't even try to get, I ended up selling $1 million policy. And I've had stuff like that happen many times where I'll be over in Clemson working all day, nothing's going on. I got back to the hotel, checked in, and get a phone call out of nowhere. Hey, can you see me tomorrow? And I think people quit right before the goal, you know?
They do.
And I think one of the greatest lessons somebody can learn, I mean, you can be the most talented guy, the most charismatic guy, but I think persistence will take you further than anywhere. Because most people just quit. They get a couple no's, something fails, but if you keep on going with other people who normally quit, you're going to be blessed.
Why do you think so many people quit, Josh?
Just they don't think I don't know. They don't like rejection. There's a price you got to pay to be successful, and most people aren't willing to pay that price. But if you're willing to pay that price, you'll eventually you'll eventually get there, and you'll realize it's worth the price to pay. And a lot of people can, and that's why I've been in sales all my life, and it doesn't bother me. I mean, I went out today. I couldn't the guy's got to get it approved through market. I don't know if I'm going to make the sale or not. Came back home. I sent him an email. But there's a price to pay. And I used to tell back in the day, I had like 38 agents working for me. And we used to get massive amounts of leads. We had a TV commercial that ran all through the Southeast. And I could give 100 pre-qualified leads to my agents. They'd come in the office and I'd do a sales presentation, give everybody their checks for that week. And I would tell them, I'd say, when you go out to the house, first of all, be honest, be professional. I said, but it doesn't matter. And they'd always look at me. I said, doesn't matter whether you make that sale or you don't. And they go, what do you mean? I said, well, you make the sale, it doesn't matter. You're still going to have to see another person. And if you don't make the sale, it doesn't matter. You still got to see another person unless you're going to make that sale and make $100 million and retire. Even though you made a sale doesn't mean you quit.
No.
And my mom told me, my mom died a couple of years ago and she was in sales all her life. But I called her up one day and I made a big old sale over in Clemson. She goes, that's when you need to go out and hit the next door. And I did. I just made a big sale. And the thing would be just go back, check into the hotel over in Clemson. And yeah, but I went over to a Diamonds Gold and Direct and they just renewed for the 5th year. So she goes, when the going's good and you got a little success momentum, that's when you need to keep going. Because, you're going to have some downtime, but you just got to get those periods where you and have faith that you're going to make it through there and, make it to the next. And it always works out.
Well, let me ask you this for folks who are watching this that are, following Businesses for Liberty. What can you offer small businesses if, let's just say, they came on board tomorrow? Like, give me a sense of that.
Okay, well, we have it on both websites. We have a sliding commercial, and when you click on it, it goes to your website. We do shout outs we do 108 shows a year. When you get our podcast and our live shows, I do a live show every Saturday. And then we do the ESPN Game Day shows. We do shout outs for all our sponsors there. We have articles that come out when people read the articles. And, let's say we're playing Carolina. When we got a Carolina Clemson article going out, Carolina fans are going to be reading it. It's not biased then. And then we're going to have your thing on the bottom is sponsored by. Now we're doing sports trivia down at Hall of Fame Sports Bar and Grill. So we do sports trivia, and we mention you down there. We mention you on the show down there. And we're actually looking for somebody like Aflac Trivia. You remember Aflac Trivia? Mm-hmm. We're looking for somebody to do USN Trivia. And then, we do SEO marketing, social media management. We do it all as far as you can do multimedia. We even got AI stuff we can do for you. And just constantly keep your word out there. We had I'll just tell you, I sold them it's a lower plan, which comes out to about $100 a month. There's a guy that went to school with my parents, and I knew my mom was dying. We were having a bye week, and I was over in Clemson. I went over to him and I said, look, I'll give you a deal. I'll do it for $100 a month. And which came out to $1,200. It's called New Teak Boutique. Good friends of the family. And so I sold them and went down to Charleston to see my mom. Came back. It was either Monday or Tuesday. And I went into a shop. And it was New Teak Boutique. And they own Clemson sock shop. Him and his son own it together. And he's talking to some lady. And I'm in there. He says, don't leave, Josh. I need to talk to you. I'm like, okay. So after she got through him, he came over. He goes, I don't want you to get a big head or anything. He said, but the time that we signed up with you, until now, he said, from what I can account for, we've doubled our money. He said, we had some lady that came down from North Carolina, spent $900 with us. And actually, I think he tripled his money. He made like $3,000 from our exposure with them within about a 72-hour period. I saw that. Hey, that's pretty cool. That's what it's all about.
That's a great story. No, I mean, it's so great when I think your co-host was asking me about that when I came to changing a business's outlook. So like Mandy Burdick and Jessica Burdick with their little boutique turned into a coffee shop and the larger boutique. But it's just such a heartwarming feeling when you can, really put people on the map, so to speak, and get people to know they exist, because so many people.
And we do some things. We got like Anderson Ford. If you go there and tell them that I Bleed Orange sent you, they'll give you a $500 rebate. You go to Columbo's Pizza, they'll give you 10% off your pizza. So some people do like these little deals, and we got like a little sponsor sticker we put on there. They say they're with us, appetizer free or whatever. If you say IV Orange sent you. So we do stuff like that. Kind of, it's still gonna make money.
Yeah. Well, Josh, I have one more question for you. And
what?
Something that means a lot to, I think, to our audience is, what do you say to people about the importance of them speaking up for their liberty, no matter what their age, that they should speak out and say, I still love my country. I still believe in my freedoms. Why does that matter to you?
Well, it's what the country was founded on, the Constitution, everything. And freedom's everything that's in the Constitution, the right to bear arms, the pro-life thing. And I think you need to be real with yourself. And that, another thing, I think, be yourself. Don't worry about what people think about you. A lot of people try to
it's a big one.
Fit in and, be in, people don't judge you. And, you really, the people we mostly admire in life are people that are real. They don't care whether people like you or not.
Yeah.
And if you don't care whether people like you or not, you find out more people like you because you're real.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
They're tired of the perfect looking stuff. They don't want that.
I mean, the Martin Luther Kings, the John Lennons, whoever spoke their mind, Donald Trump, be yourself, be real. Yeah. Be a leader,
Well, I think we both saw that in each other, that we're definitely our own people, That's we can admire from afar and say, hey, I like what he's doing. I appreciate him. So,
and we make a difference in people's lives,
Absolutely. Well, listen, if you're listening out here and you're watching this now or later, get involved with I Bleed Orange. Get involved with Businesses for Liberty. We're allies.
We're allies now. We're doing a lot together.
Country to make it local again.
We do. Make businesses great again.
There you go.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, Josh, thank you for doing this, brother. And we'll have
I appreciate it, man.
We'll have to be in person. Next time we'll do it in person.
Yeah, when I'm coming down Charleston, I'll let you know in advance. And if you're ever in the upstate, give me a heads up like a day before. We'll meet and have lunch or something.
That'd be great.
Sounds good. I apprite it, man.
So
we'll get this IT thing figured out. Huh? At least I figured out, man. We started this podcast like 3 years ago. It'd be 4 years in December. And from the beginning, Rowdy was the one that always, I pay for the service and I got it all lined up and everything, but he does all the tech work. So he just texts me every Tuesday, who are the sponsors you want listed and da-da-da-da-da. And I send it to him and their emails. And then all of a sudden night, it's like, we figured it out. We didn't have the introduction, but that's fine. I don't know where that video went. It usually comes up, the REM one.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad we went right into it. And
listen,
I'd love to talk to any of you out there who are watching tonight, and obviously get to know Josh if you're watching.
Yeah. So give us your website, your contact information, how to get in touch with you.
So go to businessesforliberty.com, plural, not business, businessesforliberty.com. Give me a call, 843-754-5630, or go to info@businessesforliberty.com.
Yeah, Eric, do a great job for you. Yeah. Appreciate it, man.
Awesome. Well, we did it.
We did it.
Thank you for hanging in there.
Yeah. All right. Till next time.
Thanks, everyone.
I'll end the stream. Go Tigers. Go. Here we go. All right. End stream. End stream.